Good afternoon and welcome to episode 13 of Connect, ColourUP and ChatUP, a beauty show sharing some of my favorite Caribbean secrets for your skin, a mix of beauty this and that, tips, information, and application techniques that are easy to follow. Robin Ryan Makeup and SkinUp, Caribbean secrets for your skin, are available for purchase online at robinryan.com. Cheer guest includes our local talents, business professionals, and ordinary people. ChatUP segment answer your makeup and SkinUp questions. Additionally, ChatUP segment includes special honors for local women and girls. Today, we are talking about the International Women's Day celebration. Some of us are on strike, some of us are wearing red. I hope you're wearing some red too. And some of us are marching. So we have a special guest to share with you today, and my chair guest is Miss Terri Reinhardt, former Global Communication Managers for John Deere. We have some stuff to talk about, and I'm excited to share with you. Welcome, Miss Terri.
Thank you, Robin.
The beautiful Terry's also wearing red, right? Because we are being bold today for red.
That's right.
Miss Terri, welcome and thank you. Hi, Uncle Trevor. Thank you for joining. Now, while we are chatting today, I will go back in later and tell you what makeup we are playing with. So I'm going to just go ahead and play with Miss Terry's face, and we are going to talk about what she was doing in 1966 when they organized the National Organization for Women. We are talking up women, we're supporting each other, and we're encouraging each other today. As a matter of fact, the rest of March. So Miss Terri, where were you in 1966 when NOW started?
1966, we were living in New York.
Okay.
I was 12 years old.
Wow.
And what I remember about it is really more from who encouraged me to be confident and tell me that I can do anything that I want to do. And that was my dad and my mom. And my dad was a business executive. And while he encouraged me to be whatever I could be, he he also insisted that I learn how to type.
Oh my. But
Yeah.
that's kind of contradicting, right?
It is a bit.
Okay.
And I remember my boyfriend when I was a senior in high school, and he was going off to college, and my dad says, well, Terry, you have a choice to make. He said, you know, you can, now that you can type, you can work as a secretary and put him through school.
Yes?
And we'll pay for an apartment for you if that's your choice, or you can go to college. And I
Okay.
said, goodbye, Fred.
I love that.
I went to college.
I love that. So that was the start for you.
That was the start.
What did you study? And what was available at the time for women? Talk to me about that.
Well, I studied radio and television at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. And it was one of the top 3 programs at the time. Now you got to remember, when I was in college in the 70s, cable was just coming into existence.
Oh, wow.
So it was basically
Okay.
the 3 major networks at that time.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a lot of history right there.
Mhm. But in my course, you could be the director, you could be the production manager, you could be, you know, on-screen talent, journalism, you could be whatever you wanted to be.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
Okay, so there were some choices for the media at that time.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Now, you think back to the time, you know, what are some of the shows that people watch the most? So thinking about the news,
The news. Mm-hmm.
there were people like Diane Sawyer that were starting at that time, and they all had a certain look.
Okay.
You think of Diane Sawyer, and Joan London came up, and
Yes.
Barbara Walters, even, first woman to be on the Today Show in a major role.
In a major role.
And they had the look of being blonde,
Mm-hmm.
white, females.
Ah.
And so back when I was in college, I had that look.
Okay.
I had that look.
You had the look.
But I didn't want to be an on-screen personality.
Okay.
I wanted to be more of the writer, producer, director.
Okay. Well, we need that support.
That's right.
Because that doesn't happen. This doesn't happen unless somebody's doing something back there. That is cool. What was your favorite part for the behind the scene part that you like to do? What was your favorite part? Or what is?
I really do like the scripting part of it.
Okay.
And then directing. In my job, I directed executives for the most part in communicating with our employees about strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So just trying to make it fun.
Yeah.
And not the dull day-to-day business kind of, just a headshot, head-on, something that was a little more interactive, even if it was a filmed piece.
Ah, I like that. That's how we met. You doing something interactive.
That's right. And before I retired, I had my dream project, and we were leading up to it for several years, but we finally created a company song with a music video, and Robin was our makeup artist.
It was fun. It was
fun.
3 days of fun.
Blazing hot, like 100 and some degrees out in the middle of a field.
Hottest summer. It was the hottest summer forever. And
yeah,
you know what? We made do and we made it happen. And Natalie did an incredible
yes.
job.
Our star Natalie Brown, she looked wonderful. She never looked hot or sweaty like the rest of us.
Yes.
I remember the choreographer.
Yes, from dancing.
We had a photograph of her from the back, and the whole back of her, not only your shirt, but her slacks, totally wet from the heat.
Yes.
Sweating.
Yes.
And of course she was dancing.
She was dancing the whole time.
So it was a lot of fun.
Hey. Sorry for the break.
On?
Sorry for the break.
We have a caller.
I did, but we are not taking live phone calls right now.
Good.
We are not. All right, so Miss Terri, talk to me about what you did. How did you take action? How did you become a part of the movement? Are we there yet, or we have more stuff to talk about before we get to?
Well, I think it starts with the choices you make and how you're encouraged by your family or whoever it is that gives you that confidence that you need in your life. For me, it was my dad, and I had a favorite teacher too that kind of brought me out of my shell in the 8th grade, and I was tall and awkward, and he made me learn to laugh at myself.
Yeah.
So, but I had 4 brothers and a sister, all younger, so I ruled the house.
I love it.
And in many ways, still am head of the family.
Still the head of the family.
Yeah. So then going into college, the first time being on your own, you realize there's more choices to make that they're going to affect you the rest of your life. And I'll give you an example though of one thing that at the time, and maybe this was me, but my counselor said, Terri, I've got this job for you. And it was my last semester. I hadn't finished yet. And he said, I have this job for you.
Oh, wow.
And said, but you're going to have to move. You're going to have to graduate. I'll graduate you early. I'll make sure everything is okay with your classes. And I thought, well, number one, I don't really like to do that kind of thing because I think it comes back to bite you sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
But then I was going to have to leave my boyfriend at the time. And I didn't do it.
No?
My path could have, my whole life could have gone a different way.
Yeah.
Had I done that, but I didn't do that. Because, I guess I'm thinking that the relationship, again, it wasn't about me, it's about the relationships that we have.
Yeah.
So I didn't take that job.
You didn't take that job.
And so the way I had to start, I tried to get a job in radio and television, couldn't get a job.
Wow.
They told me.
But you had the look, and now you have the education to go with the look.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Still couldn't get a job.
Wow.
I needed to have contacts. I needed to have that networking. And I hadn't done that yet because I was just out of college. I'd done some at some like broadcasting conventions and that kind of thing, but you know, not enough where I could get that first job.
Okay. Ah. So what was the move after that?
Well, I started working as a legal secretary, using that typing skill.
Oh my,
Well,
that's a good thing.
I'll go back to the typing thing though, because when I was in college, you had to pass a typing test because we were doing journalism.
Oh yeah.
And you had to be able to type the stories.
That makes sense.
So I had to pass a typing test, and thank goodness that my dad made me take that course, or I wouldn't have passed. I didn't pass by much, but, and then when I came to John Deere, now this is back in 1976, I had to take a typing test to get a job.
In 1976?
1976, I had a college degree. I had to take a typing test in order to get a job.
Because that's a requirement
For women.
for women.
Because naturally I was going to go into an administrative role. I mean, there just weren't women that were in even supervisory roles at the time.
No.
So you start, and I think what I learned the most is you just have to be yourself.
Yeah.
You have to have confidence. You have to kind of know what you want to do. You have to be willing to talk to a lot of people about what you want to do. Not kind of sit back and wait for things to happen.
Yeah.
That you help.
You have to be
that.
active in your journey of
Right.
what you're trying to do.
Right.
I was listening to a speaker on TED Talk, and she was talking about when she was a little girl that there was no female astronaut. There was no any leading female
Right.
roles for her to follow, and how our generation has people like you that set the pace for us.
Right.
So now we know that we can be the lead
Yeah.
in something because it is not possible because of what you've created.
You know, so what I think what my generation has done is we got us into the workplace and we got us to the top. Now, there's still not very many women that are at the highest levels.
Okay.
I think what you quickly realize as you move up a ladder in business is
Yeah.
that with it comes a lot of responsibility, so you have to decide what's going to give, you know. Is your job going to be your main focus? Are you never going to be home? Or
So it's
Or
a
you're
balance
not.
of family and work,
It
but that's
is.
only placed on the female. That's not placed on the male so much.
I think more and more men are making a choice based on their family, though.
Yes.
And I used to get a lot of people would come to me because I worked in HR
Mm-hmm.
for a while for part of my career, and they'd say, "Well, talk to me about a new job offer." And so I'd let them talk, men and women,
Mm-hmm.
and then finally I'd say, "What's going to be the best decision for your family?"
Ah.
And if moving right now is not going to be the best decision, then wait for the next opportunity. Because it will come.
Uh-huh.
You continue to do a great job. You know, you work well with other people, and it'll come along.
That's really good advice. So not rushing, not just
Mhm.
changing everything instantly,
Yeah,
and just trust that your time will come.
right. And back then, there were some of the laws about requiring diversity in the workforce were just starting to come into play. So that required that we start looking in different places if we wanted to get a diverse group of people. Instead of just looking for people like ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
we started to actively look for others, because you found that when you had, not only do you have a diversity of the way people look, which is really not as important as the way we think.
Yes. Oh my.
And you get so many better ideas when you've got a group of people that don't all think the same.
It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. So you were there when diverse thinking and putting diversity in the workplace was the integration of women coming in.
The law coming in
The
and
law
saying
coming
this
out.
is the way it's going to be.
Wow. I can't even imagine. I have no patience for it. I don't know, for my Jamaican friends that know me, you know that I'm activist at art forever. I will demonstrate and march. Hi cousin, thank you for joining, and Tashina and Erica. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Our beautiful guest is Miss Terri Reinhardt from the Communications, John Deere.
Global Communications Manager for John Deere.
There, see, she can say it way better. And Terri was giving us, she was sharing with us her experience from, we're using the timeline of 1966 because that's when National Organization for Women started. And so that's what we're chatting about. Stay connected. We have some more funny stuff to share with you. Oh my. Okay, Mister, tell us more. I'm going to put some eyeliner on here and you tell us more.
Okay.
Open and look up. Maybe you can't talk and do this part at the same time.
As long as you don't poke me again, Robin.
Oh, I don't want to poke you. Mm-mm. We'll be good as long as I don't poke you.
So I guess I have, I don't have a lot of memories of knowingly being discriminated against.
Okay.
Because I think when you're angry all the time, it doesn't help in building a bridge so that people don't see you as male or female. If you concentrate on just doing what you do and doing it well,
Yeah.
you will shine.
But sometimes
Sometimes.
sometimes we shine and we remain there. So, okay, let me throw out, I guess, things that I hear go on. I'm a young lady or a middle-aged lady and I'm working in an environment or working for an organization and they bring in other people. I'm their boss and they're coming and getting paid more than I am in this day and age. That kind of thing is still going on. So I am thinking, and there's no anger, but just thinking of, it's like we keep trying to do that, but it's like you can't hear me and I am screaming so loud. It's that shine. Now, look how shine we're shining. We are wearing red. I mean, like, there is a statement that we're trying to make.
So what do you think you would need to do? Now, you've got your own business, so that's a whole different story.
It's a whole different story of having my own business. No, I am not having to have a boss when I'm my own boss. So I do support women. I do internship. I do everything to help us grow and be stronger and be one.
Right.
In growth. I'm all about that.
You know, there's, if we get into positions that make us uncomfortable, we need to talk about it.
That's
We
true.
need to tell somebody that something is going on. When it comes to like harassment in the workplace, that kind of thing.
Yes.
But what you're talking about is more about financial equality. And
Yes.
it takes, I'll give you an example. Big companies, that's really my experience, so I'll have to use that. But there's a range that you can pay someone, all right? And it's all pretty much defined so that we can treat people as close to being equal as possible. Okay?
Yeah.
But if my starting pay is here and I get a new job and the starting pay is up here,
Yeah.
I might not be able to get there yet.
No.
Or I'm at the very bottom.
Very bottom still.
versus some people that would come in and they'd start at a higher level. It just takes me longer to get up to that base.
Are you doing the same work?
I'm doing the same work, but it's a progression in pay.
Progression in pay.
Now,
Okay.
again, each business handles it differently. If you feel that you're being treated unfairly, I would certainly first work through whatever means possible within your company.
Yeah.
But you can always choose to leave and go somewhere else that is going to reflect more of what you feel your value is.
Your values are. Do you think that there's more choices like that now?
I think that what I used to tell people, or some people would be in the same job and they would be at the very top of their pay grade. Well, in larger companies, theoretically, you know, where you're going to be able to make a better living. Once you get to the top, the only way that you can make more money is if you change jobs.
Okay.
Now, because then we're getting into that situation where you say, well, are you doing the same work? Well, okay, I'm doing the same work as you, but you're way up here. Are we going to continue to give you more money for doing the same work?
The same work.
There has to be kind of a range
Yes.
of where you're at based on how well you're doing. So, we need to be open to change as well. Change means more responsibility.
Yes.
More money, more responsibility, probably more travel. My kids used to say to me, well, Mommy, why? I had three kids, and they said, well, Mom, how come you got this big new job, and why do you have to travel? Why didn't somebody else do that now? I said, well, it works just the opposite, you know?
Yeah.
Works just the opposite.
Oh my.
That.
Okay. Yeah. And you've traveled. You did it. Your mom and working at the same time, and you traveled.
Yeah.
How many countries did you tell me you went to the other day? That's something we can share.
What, like 10, 12 countries?
I know, 12 countries.
Yeah. And I didn't have to travel as much as a lot of people.
Seemed like you had more of a little bit of choice in there.
Well, yeah.
That makes a difference. That makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to put some lip liner on. And I'm using Bordeaux. And we are coloring up with red. Now, if you have a red lipstick today, I want you to put it on and send me a selfie. All right? And let's see if we can cover our social media pages with red. And then just blending out the liner. Then I'm gonna grab some red she said, right? Red she said. That's what we're gonna put on there. And then
Is that the name of the lipstick?
Yes.
And she said, okay.
Isn't that so fun? I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm excited to see it on you and see it's like a deep.
Ooh.
So let's see what that looks like.
So the liner's a little lighter or a little darker?
It's actually almost the same because I use the liner to help the lipstick stay in place so it don't feather and all of that fun stuff. So I usually try to, depending on the look, for beauty.
All right.
I go a little closer. So we are applying some red she said, and I'm using a sponge tip applicator because it gives you a smoother application. There's some Rihanna in the background. I'm totally excited to see you guys in your red. Or you ladies rather. Telling you. Wow, that's just one layer of red, she said, and I'm gonna add another layer. I actually love that on you.
Do you?
Yes.
It's not too dark?
No, not at all. Not at all. I can't wait to show you. I'm gonna do one more layer first though. And then I will show it to you. Now I have a take action for you. You can head over to National Organization for Women. They're on strike today, but you can still go to the website and you can go to the Facebook page, and there's a petition for you to sign. You can take action and send the petition. Women will not go back. We will not fight back. We will not be defined by our setbacks. We will not be defined by our courage or drive to fight for equality and our determination and demand our fundamental rights. Access to abortion care, equal pay, racial justice, LGBTQIA rights, and end to sexual violence, and more. These are the human rights we claim. We will not stop until our government recognizes them in full. Feminists keep fighting. I pledge to fight for equality in my community and stand strong with feminist activists around the country and around the world. I am a feminist. You should be too, because I support equality fully. So go to the National Organization for Women. That's your action today. Take some risks. Be bold. Like Miss Terri's being bold.
We're red.
We're red. Let's get this other layer on. Next time. I am just fine to look at me. And making sure these red lips are perfect. And we are almost done. Hey Lenise, thank you for joining us. Miss Mandy, thank you for joining us. Put on some red lipstick. It will look amazing on you. Have you ever worn the shade of red?
No.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's have you see. You know what we didn't do is mascara. But we can do mascara in a little bit. I am going to show Miss Terri her look. And then I'm going to go play with her face a little bit more, and I will post after photos for you.
Wow, that is bold. That's very bold.
It looks so pretty on you, though. That looks so good on you.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes. See? Doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter what complexion, you can go bold and wear red. It looks absolutely stunning on this chica.
This old chica.
This mature woman that have paved the way for us. Ha! I love it. All the makeup used today are available on my website at robinryan.com. They're also available in the studio. There's a 15% off online when you sign up for the Robin Ryan ChatUP news. I will post a link later. Ms. Terri, any final words for us with today and International Women's Day?
I'd say just keep on doing your best. Put your best foot forward. If you see something that you don't think is right, do something about it.
All right, we are doing something about it. Thank you for connecting, and I will chat to you soon.